health and a little wealth and a lot of love.
Well, do you think Ozempic helps with that as a jump start? Because according to Julian, you have to be on these medicines forever, and then after taking this for 2 years, it's not going to work the same. Is that true?
Well, let's talk.
Well, she's not a doctor, number one.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Ozempic. So Ozempic is the big brand name, and honestly, Ozempic is the name of the medication. Semaglutide is the medication, but it's used. Its indication is for diabetes management, and yes, it is highly effective at helping people manage their blood sugar. And so we have plenty of diabetic patients who are on Ozempic who are able to decrease the amount of insulin that they're taking. They're also able to lose weight and just improve their metabolic health. And there is the exact same medication. I guess it simplifies things, but you can think about Wegovy is the other brand name for Ozempic.
Right.
It's the same medication, but it is specifically FDA approved for weight loss. And I know there's
Ozempic approved for weight loss?
Ozempic is approved for diabetes, treatment of diabetes, but not for weight loss. Wegovy is semaglutide. It's the same medication, but it is the specific brand name that's approved for weight loss or weight management, which is important because, and we can talk about this later in the episode, but that's important for insurance approval. Because if you don't have diabetes, then most insurances are not going to approve the use of Ozempic, but they might approve the use of Wegovy. And so it's all semantics. But to say that it is a medication that you can never get off of, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that I'm a huge proponent of changing your diet and making sure that you are more active, that you're exercising, you're eating right. But there are so many people out there who have such a hard time with food addiction or breaking those cravings.
And guess what, guys? We are one of those people.
Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of us are. And it's a matter of just the world that we live in today. We have readily available ultra processed foods that
high sugar, high fat,
that we can't get rid of unless we have policy changes and unless our government changes the way that our children eat in schools.
And wouldn't you agree that like a lot of people looking at us, oh, y'all look healthy. Y'all, what do you talk about? I don't relate to y'all. No, I've gained 65 pounds since COVID. 65 pounds. And I've traded one addiction for another. This is not an addiction episode. I'll talk about that in the future. I believe that everyone has some form of addiction. They just don't know it, whether it's social media or addicted to compliments or addicted to working out, addicted to gambling, alcohol, whatever it is, porn, whatever it is. And so we'll talk more about that in the future. But you're also the same way. Like you feel like you have a food addiction.
And it's the way sometimes you use it as a way to manage your stress or
reward yourself.
Yes, or reward yourself. Yeah. And it's so upsetting to me, I think, because sometimes it is an option that people choose and I don't think that they should feel guilty about that option.
Interesting. What do you mean by that?
So if you look at the data, if you look at any way that you lose weight. So if you have somebody who is obese, morbidly obese, anytime you lose 10% of your body weight, your body, your hormones, the way that your brain reacts to that, it basically is fighting against you. So you are going to your body basically says, I'm going to start slowing down my metabolism and I'm going to start increasing the hunger hormones so that I can gain that weight back. And so it doesn't matter if you do it the natural way, so you do it by changing the way that you eat, you do it by exercising, you lose 10% of your body weight, whether it's from doing those things or whether it's from doing it with Wegovy or Zepbound, these injectable medications, your body is going to start trying to get you to gain that weight back. And we've seen study after study show that trajectory, you start to, no matter what option you choose, you're going to start to gain that weight back. And so we've got to try to think about ways to combat that. And I've had patients who've been able to come off of the medication or at least wean down the dose, but I
Yeah.
think it can be life-changing.
With a little health and a little wealth and a lot of love. That's the life that we live. Suits and scrubs.